Oh, he's all right. So just shake off that viper of discouragement when he's trying to pull you down. I also want to say that you need to shake off the viper of criticism. You all know what criticism is, don't you? In the 4th verse of our text, we see that after Paul was snake bitten, those around him began to whisper and murmur. The Bible says that they commented on the fact that he must be a murderer. There are some folks who will look at you in your situation. Oh, you out of a job? Must not be able to hold one. Oh, your children in trouble? You must not be a good parent. Somebody will find something in the midst of your bad situation to say something bad about you. Actually, it always tends to come when you're trying to do your best, trying to do good. But I want you to know that sometimes, more often than we like, there's somebody standing around who's quick to judge, quick to criticize, quick to falsely accuse you. Or they're only doing it for the glory. Just want to see their names up in lights. Just look at them. Don't be surprised if you're criticized. If Jesus was criticized, what makes you think that you're so much better than him? We often say that about the fact that Jesus was tempted. Jesus was also criticized. As a matter of fact, he was criticized more than anything else. Oh, you are not the Son of God. You don't know what you're talking about. You can't. That's all Jesus ever heard. And when they found out that the criticism wouldn't do no good, they sent him to the Calvary's cross. Well, I have to be real and admit that there are times when I deserve the criticism that I receive. Amen? Yes, there are times. I'm just talking about self. If this applies to you, that's fine. But there are times when I'm wrong, and I need to be shown the errors of my ways. I need to know when I've made a mistake. I can't see everything. It's really, I'm really being foolish if I think I know it all, can do it all, and it has to be my way no matter what. Woo. Somebody said something about, the higher, the harder. You know what I'm talking about? So I have to be careful that I don't turn my back on criticism that's given in love. Amen? But what I'm talking about today are those times when the viper attacks and the poison that he's trying to put in my life is the poison of unfair, untrue criticism. Because the only purpose of that kind of criticism is to make you want to give up. To make you want to say, well, if that's how you feel about it, then I'm just not going to do it. Here, you can have your ball and you can go play any kind of way you want to. That's what Satan is trying to do, even when the criticism is unfair. And Satan will whisper into somebody's ear, tell her such and such. I believe this is her hot button. I believe if you tell him this, he'll quit wanting to do that. I want you to know that I've learned that when unfair criticism comes my way, I simply need to look to the author and the finisher of my faith. I simply need to look to the hills from whence cometh my help. I simply need to pray for the one who has nothing good to say about me and what I'm trying to do. I need to simply not want to judge, not want to get my own punishment, but to simply say, Lord, he's in your hand. Lord, it's all up to you. Lord, I know you will take care of me. You said it in your word that you're my shelter on the right and on the left. You said that you'd be my shelter in the daytime. You'd be my shelter at night. That tells me that it doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter what they say about me. All I have to do is just shake off that viper. Well, before I take my seat, and I don't want to hold you long today, is that you have to also shake off the viper of cynicism. Cynicism. Luke tells us in the 6th verse of our text that there were people around Paul, and after seeing him being bitten by the viper, they expected him to swell up and suddenly fall over dead. They didn't expect anything good to come out of his situation, did they? How many times have you been the object of a cynic's words? How many times have you heard a cynic say to you, you'll never make it? How many times have you heard a cynic say to you, you know you're going to fail, don't you? How many of you have heard a cynic say to you, what you're talking about isn't real? What that preacher is saying is not right. That'll never happen. I don't even know why you're doing it. I want you to know that the cynic does not have the last word. God does. I want you to know that cynic doesn't know everything. My Jesus knows from the beginning to the end. The cynic doesn't know what's going on tomorrow. My Jesus not only knows what's going on tomorrow, he controls tomorrow in his holy and his righteous hands. So when that viper of cynicism comes and attacks you, I want you to know that all you got to do is just shake him off. Shake him off. Shake him off, and God will take care of you. I wanted to tell you this story about David. You know the little shepherd boy David, don't you? When the children of Israel were fighting against the Philistines, one army was over here, another army was over here. And the way that they would fight battles back then was that each army would send their greatest warrior to the valley in between, and they would have a one-on-one battle. And whichever one of those soldiers won, that would indicate that the other army won the war. Well, we had the Philistines on one mountaintop, and we had the children of Israel on another mountaintop. But the children of Israel were afraid to send anybody out because the greatest army for the Philistine, or should I say the greatest soldier for the Philistine, was one called who? Goliath. David went and he said, hey, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Why don't you go out? Why won't somebody go out here and fight the battle? And I don't believe anybody was willing to say, we're all afraid. David said, you know, I fought a bear and I won. I even fought a lion, and I won. Bring him on. I'll fight the greatest Philistine. I want you to know that there was a cynic. His name was King Saul. The king said, look, David, you just a boy. You have not had any training in warfare. And the man that you want to go up and fight against has been training to be a warrior since the time he was a child. David said, that's all right. Because when I went up against that bear, and when I went up against that lion, I want you to know that I had more than just some weapons on my side. I want you to know that I had a God on my side. I want you to know that greater is he who is in me than he is who is in the world. I want you to know that David told his cynic the same thing that we need to tell our cynics. David just shook him off. He said, I'm not going to let you steal my joy. I'm not going to let you discourage me by telling me that I can't do it because I know that I serve a God who said that he would supply my each and every need. I want you to know that I serve a God who is able to do everything but fail. So I just suggest to you, that when the vipers of life are latching on to you, that you just shake them off. When things are not going your way, just to shake it off. I want you to know that all you've got to do is just look to Jesus. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? Just look to Jesus, Mary's little baby boy. Jesus, the author and the finisher of my faith. I want you to know that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I don't have to see it to know that it's true. I know for myself that Jesus is able to pick me up when I've been knocked down. I know for myself that Jesus is able to straighten out and smooth out every rough road that may come my way. I want you to know that he is able. Oh, Jude said that now unto him who is able to keep you from falling and who will present you faultless before the throne of my Father. I want you to know that it is that same God who will be with you when the days are dark. It is that same Jesus who will sure enough make your midnights turn into day. I want you to know it's that same Jesus who died for you on Calvary's cross. And I'm so glad about it. I've held you too long. I want to go to my seat. I need to sit down and let you get on with your lives today. But I can't leave before I tell you that Jesus died on Calvary's cross. I want you to know that he died for you. He didn't have to do it, but he did it anyway. I want you to know that they stretched him wide. Some say they hung him high. I don't know how high the cross was, but I know that it was high enough to pay the price for you and me. They say that he stayed on the cross all night Friday, and then they took him out, should I say all day Friday. They took him off that cross, put him in a borrowed tomb. He went to the depths of hell, preached to the captives there. He might be preaching to somebody right here today. But when he finished preaching, he took off his grave clothes, laid them on the slab. They tell me that when the women came to look and tend to his body, that he was not there. There was an angel sitting on a rock, had a message about the rock. He's not here. I want you to know that he has risen. I want you to know that Jesus got up with all power in his hands, sitting at the right hand of the Father. So when you cry out to him, he does hear and answers prayer. I want you to know that he's able. He's able. He's able. Fill in the blank, he's able. Whatever you stand in the need of, he's got it for you. He's able. Whatever you need, Jesus